Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Automation with Arnab. Hello, I am Arnab. Hope you guys are doing very well. So in my last video, I have discussed about the Selenium and mostly in the Selenium 4 features and how you can start your automation journey with Selenium and how you can set up your environment, your computer, and how to write your first script in Selenium. Okay, so in this video, I'll discuss about the how to find an element, just like here this is the Selenium documentation, how to identify an element and how to interact with that in detail we will discuss in this video. Okay, so to identify the elements there is a two-way actually. Okay, the way is that locator strategy. Using the locator strategies we can identify a element actually in a web page. So there is a two type of locators are available in the Selenium documentation, you can check. So one is the traditional locators, another one is the relative locators. This relative locators is a new one which has been introduced in Selenium 4. Okay, so first we will discuss about this traditional locators. Okay, so if you can check that in the traditional locators what is available, that is locator is available as a class name, we can use as a locator, CSS selector we can use as a locator, ID we can use, name we can use, link text we can use, partial link text, tag name, and the one of the most important XPATH. Okay, so we will check one by one. First is that the class name. Okay, so what they have given as a description: locate the element whose class name contains the search value. Compound class names are not permitted, means that if you have an idea on HTML, so when we are giving a class name for a particular tag, okay, or for tag actually in a HTML page, so you have to use one, we can use the one class name, we can give the multiple class name for a element for a tag actually, but we can use a single name for that one. Okay, so suppose this is our web page, we will use this one for our automation to learn this one. To identify this one, let's check. So in my last video also I have shown you guys how to identify this one, how to check what is the class name and all. So just right click on the element, click on the inspect. Okay, this window will come. Okay, it may come like this. Okay, if you can click on this three dot, okay, vertical dot, you can change the dock. Okay, like this. Okay, so here the class name is from control. So there are multiple places where we can find the class name is from control. Okay, so let's check. So it is it can identify or not. Okay, using the class name from control. So this is my Java class. Okay, so I am going to use this one only. Okay, so this one only. Okay, so what we can do, we can comment out this code and let's try to find. Okay, web element text box by class name. Okay, so driver.find element, that's the method, driver.find element. So what is driver and all I have already discussed in my last video. If you missed that one, please if you don't have any idea, please see that video, the part 1, so that you guys can have an idea what is driver and how to create the driver and all. Okay, there is a method called find element which we can call using the driver object. Okay, so my driver object name is driver, you can give any name. Okay, so I am giving driver, so driver dot find element. Inside that find element I have to pass the argument by dot class name. Okay, class name, and only class name is from control. So if it will not able to find this element using this class name, okay, it will throw an error. Okay, so to use this class name or these locators we have to use this by class. Okay, so using this by class we can use multiple locator strategies. If you just write by dot, you can see that ID is available, CSS selector is available, class name is available, link text, name, partial link text, tag name, XPath. Okay, all these are available. Okay, so let's run this code. so it is able to find the text box. Okay, that's why it's not given any error. If it will not able to find, it will throw an error. Let's see that one also. So I am giving from control 1 2 3 4 like this, the class name, which is not available in the page. And let's try to run this code. We have given, okay, there is an error. You can see that. What is the error? No such element, unable to locate element using this one. Okay, so that's the error. That's why it is not available. That's why it is giving as an error. Okay, so don't be confused that method name, method CSS selector like this. Okay, so one is done for us. That is how to use class name. So next is the CSS selector. Okay, so CSS selector, I have already used CSS selector. This one we can use. Okay, the submit button. Okay, this is the submit button. Let's check for this one. You can directly again just right click on this one or go click on inspect, so it will show you guys, or you can use this one, this select an element in this page. Okay, click on this one. Okay, just mouse over on any of the element in this page. Element means the text box, drop down, button, every whatever you can see in this page. Okay, so it will show you here. Okay, so we can CSS, we can use they have used button as a CSS. Button is available. Okay, so they are using button as a CSS, that's why we can use a CSS selector. Okay, so let's run this code to check it's able to find this element on using the CSS selector button. Yes, it is able to find, that's why there is no error in the code. Okay, so next is that ID. This is very easy. This one, if any element has an ID, which is the best way to identify any element. So if I take this text input, this one has an ID, my text ID. Just copy this one and try to find. Here also I have already used this one, so I'm just using that one and try to run this one. So if you guys can look very closely, these are very easy. Okay, if you have a class name, if you have to identify an element, this the process is that to identify using a unique thing. Okay, so ID is the most significant way to identify an element, because ID will not, it's usually it's never been same for all the other multiple elements actually, you can say. Okay, usually developers, they are using ID as a unique identifier. Okay, for each of the elements. Okay, one when we are suggesting, I am also suggesting that, and it is also suggested that use ID as your first preference to identify an element. Whenever you are not able to find any ID, unique ID actually for an element, then try to use other thing. Okay, like class name or other locator strategies like name. First preference is yours. For as per my suggestion is that you can use ID, is exactly same like name. If you see here, name is also, it can be unique. Okay, but for CSS selector, class name, these things cannot be unique, because the same class name or same CSS selector, it can use for multiple elements. Okay, in a single web page. Okay, so name is also same. You can see that here, name, my text is available. I can use this one here. Meanwhile, what I am saying, I was saying that, so try to find a unique thing, but which one you can use to identify an element. Actually, it can be ID, it can be name. Okay. So next is that the link text and the partial link text. Link text here, link text is return to index. There is a link text is available. Okay. So this one we can use. Let's try to identify this one, the link text. Okay. Okay, let's write the code for the to identify using link text. Okay, element text. So for us, link text is that return to index. So the text inside the anchor tag means the A tag. Okay, this text which is used for linking. Okay, to other page. So this one, try to find this one. Okay, so it's perfect. So it is able to find this one. Okay, there is no error. Next is that the partial link text. So partial link text is that, so sometimes what happened that we cannot use the full text. Okay, so we can use a partial of a link text. So same thing, if we can use partial link text, and suppose think that we can use up to return. Okay, let's try to find this one. Perfect, it is able to find this one. That's why there is no error. Okay, so to confirm that one, I am just using a random text, my name. Okay, and let's try to find this one. It is not able to find. That's why the page is staying actually. So it's taking time to identify the elements. Okay, so that's the thing. So there is an error we can see in the console. Okay, same error. It is showing that there is no, it is not able to find that element, no such element. Okay, so method we have used partial link text. That's all. Okay, selector is this one. So that's it. So next is that the, okay, there is another one, Tagname. Okay, so Tagname is very easy. Suppose for you, so there is a using the single Tagname, multiple elements you can find. Suppose if you can see here, label, using label Tagname, there are multiple elements are there. So using Tagname you can identify the element, but you will find multiple elements. So we will discuss later how to handle multiple elements when you will find multiple elements. Okay, well, let's see how to identify that one. So it's very easy actually. I'm not getting like the last one. This, let's run this code. Okay, it's running. And it will fail again because of this one. I forgot to change this one. Let's stop this one. So there is no error, means it's perfectly it's able to identify the elements using label name. So I can say, you can say that is multiple elements are available. Okay, so it will identify multiple elements actually. Okay, so last is that the XPath. This is one of the most important thing. Okay, because whenever we will not able to find ID or name, any unique thing, we have to use this XPath. Okay, to use XPath, okay, So there are a lot of things are available. Okay, so let's go into the detail. So what is XPath? So it is very popular while you using Selenium. Actually, Selenium based any other tools like APM, Venium, or any other tool like the CTest. Okay, so what is XPath? XPath is in Selenium. XPath is actually an XML path to use XML path used to navigation through the HTML structure. Okay, to go to that particular element. Okay, so how to create that XPath? Okay, so XPath, basically XPath, different type of XPaths are available. One is absolute XPath, one is relative XPath. Absolute XPath, what is absolute XPath? Absolute XPath is nothing like that. Okay, suppose if I am taking this one, this text box. Okay, if you right click on this one, copy, you can get that copy full XPath. There is an option is available, copy full XPath. And let's open a notepad and paste it here. So you can see that what it is actually happen. So it is starting from the beginning, HTML, then body, okay, then main, then div, then form, then again div, form, then div, again div, the div number 1, because there are multiple divs are available, 1 2 3 3 divs are available. So that's a div number 1, then level number 1. Okay, because inside this div number 1 there are multiple levels are available. Okay, so that's why level number 1, inside the level number 1, input text, input tag. Okay, so it is going by one the tag name. So this is the absolute XPath. So it is very difficult, because if you suppose this is a very simple web page, if you think about any complicated XPath, complex web page actually, so you will get a very long XPath. Okay, and if anything goes change in between anywhere, so it will get you will not be able to find that element, it will get failed. Okay, so to avoid these circumstances, okay, we basically use the absolute XPath. Okay, so how to use absolute XPath? Okay, so absolute XPath structure will start with the double slash. Okay, you can see here for the relative XPath. Okay, so for absolute XPath it will start with the single slash. Okay, for absolute XPath, relative XPath, it will start with the double slash. Okay, and then you can give the tag name, then using the @ you can give the attribute name. Okay, if suppose I am try to create for this one this input text box, I can write like this: input angle bracket, this bracket, third bracket. You can give attribute name as attribute, any attribute I can use, like type text. Okay, let's try to find this one that it is perfect or not. Using the browser only you can check that you have written the correct XPath or not for the relative XPath. Okay, just place your mouse in this window, press Ctrl F in your computer, select anything here, Ctrl F, you will find this find box here, find by the string or XPath. You can see that there is multiple, this is a 4 using this XPath you can identify 4 elements, so it is not unique. So how to make this one unique? So use the attribute which is unique for this element. Okay, so if I am using ID and the ID value, my text ID, and let's check that it is this is 1 of 1, means that you can say that this is the unique one you can use. So this is the way to write the basics XPath. Okay, so let's go into the deep. So XPath, as I mentioned, that to write the relative XPath there are multiple ways there. Okay, so basic XPath I have shown you guys that how to write the basic XPath. There is another way, you don't have to give this tag name. So how it works actually, before going into the deep, so using the double slash you can avoid all of these things. Okay, it will automatically find the input, all the input text, but it will target the automatically filter, actually you can say like that, it will automatically filter the input tag with these details. Okay, inside that this inside this code, you can say HTML code, okay, it will treat as an XML, okay. So that's why it's called that XML path, okay. So you can avoid the tag name also, you can use here as a star. So instead of using tag name, it will directly use only this value, attribute and attribute value. You can see that it is able to find this one, okay. So this is the basic way to write the XPath. So next, what is that? There is a method you can use, that is contains, okay. So how to use the contains method? There is a two way to use contains actually, okay. How to use that one? So first, syntax is, I'll give all this syntax in the video description so that you guys can remember or you guys can learn in detail, okay. So if I'm taking this one, that star content, star, you can use star or you can use the tag name also, that's not a big deal. You can use both actually, tag name or star, okay. So content, attribute and the substring. Suppose you are trying to find an element, okay, like this, you can say that what we can try to find this drop down, select text, this one, okay, or not this one, let's identify this one, this default checkbox, go inside this one, okay. So we can try using this one, contains, we can use the tag name or tag name, it is fine, totally fine. We can use contains, you can see the syntax, this is the syntax, okay. This is a contains, this is a method, it will take two input, it's actually a method, actually you can say @ attribute. What attribute we can use? We can use attribute name, and then value is my check. Okay, let's try to check. So it is able to find, but two of them it is able to find. You can see that one of two, it's total two element it is able to get, but it's working, okay. So this is one way you can use the contents, and there is another way you can use. But you can use, if you want to use this check, this text actually, not check, this text, the text here, the checked text box, this one, the text inside a tag name, okay. You can use that one also. You can use like this, text, okay. You can use full text or you can use part text also. Let's first try the part text. No, it's not able to find anything. Checked. Wrong. That is not able to find anything. Yep, for submit is working fine. For that one it is not working. Let's see. Okay, so I am assuming that it will work for label, but for label tag, if you see carefully, label, inside this label two things are, one, input is available, input tag, after that the text is available. That's why it is not able to identify this text. This is not a single text inside the label tag. So input and the text both is available, so that's why it is not able to identify. But for submit, inside the button only submit text is available, okay, inside the button tag, Okay, so that's why it is able to identify. So it is working. Okay, so let's okay, okay. So I forgot to show you guys how you guys can use this one. So it's very simple. Element by dot XPath. Just use XPath here. That's it. Let's try to run this one. This code. So it's able to find, that's why there is no error. So you guys can see that there are multiple options are there to write the XPath. So this is the second one, contents. Now there is a way, or you can use operators actually, or and and. Okay, so either attribute value this or attribute value this, you can identify the elements. Okay, same thing you can use for and. Okay, so or and both you can use, just operators you can use. Okay, let's try this one. And same thing you can use directly tag name, or you can use star. Suppose let's try to identify this checkbox like this. Attribute, you can say you can use name, you guys can think that this is very where there are a lot of multiple options are available, that unique ID, why we need these and or these, all these complex thing. This, as again I am mentioning, that this is a very simple tech web page. That's why you can find all the things. This is meant for the automation. They have given Selenium, given this form to identify the elements, to learn all of those things. Okay, well, in the real life you will not be able to find these, all this detail thing, the ID name for each of the elements. Okay, so in that case you will need these things. Okay, perfectly it is able to find, but there is two are there. If you click on this one, it will able to find this one also. Okay, because I am given or, that's why. So it is same for both, the name is same for both, but this one also it is my check. And if I am changing this one or to and, it is able to find only one. Okay, so these are the thing, or and how you can use this one. Next is that starts with. Okay, so it's, you can say these things are like Java strings methods. Okay, multiple method, Java string multiple methods. Okay, let's start check with starts with. Again you can give the tag name, or you can use the star. Form. I'm not giving the full text form control. I'm going to use form. So there are 34 options. It is identified using the form. Okay, so you can use this one also. You start with, and another one is text. I have already shown that how you can use text. Text means the value inside a tag name, but not like this text input with a input tag, actually input tag kind of thing. for these things it will be very difficult to identify, but for these things like that, within anchor tag return to text, this text is available. Okay, the take a tag open and tag close in between if any text is available without any other input kind of attribute tag names. Okay, you can use this one. Okay, for to use those text you can use the text method. Okay, so these are the basic things, basic methods to identify the XPath. Okay, to write the relative XPaths. Actually, to write the absolute XPath is very easy. You can directly copy and paste. Okay, from here, just go here, copy full XPath. It's fine. Okay, but to write the complicated XPath, this is the way to write the complicated basic relative XPath. Okay. Now we will discuss about, as I mentioned, that how to identify the complex element, or mostly you can say the dynamic elements, because nowadays when they are developers, they are using the technology to develop the web page or the website, so where everything is dynamic, you can say the elements are dynamically generated. Okay, so in that case it's very difficult to use to find the element using the basic XPath options. Okay, whatever we have learned. So on that case, so that's why they have XPath has some method, it's called XPath access methods. There are 8 options are there. Using those 8 options we can find the dynamic XPath. Okay, so we will learn one by one all the 8 how to write the XPath using this XPath access methods. Okay, so first one is that following. Okay, so this is the syntax for following. And again I am saying telling that, so this star can be replaced by the tag name. Okay, and this one, another interesting thing. Okay, let's first show this one, then we can go to the next one. Suppose I want to find you can say that all the labels after this input text box. Okay, so what we can say, we can write like this. Okay, so this is the main XPath. You can write, first you have to write the main XPath. Okay, you can see that one, like star id equals to this one. If I remove this one, okay, so what it will identify, this text box. Okay, after that if I add following method, this XPath access method. Okay, following, after that double colon, you have to give the tag name. Okay, which tag name? Suppose if I am giving div, so it is identified 6 div. Okay, this is the first div. Which one is the div? This one, this return index. Okay, then there is another div, this one, there is another div, this one, this one, this one, this one, all the divs after this text box. Okay, this XPath, actually you can say this XPath. After that part, one XPath first means all of these things you need a reference. Actually, using that reference you are identifying another element. Okay, you have one, you are not able to find whatever you want to, the element, particular element you want to find, that element doesn't have any unique thing, and that one is a dynamic thing. So you need a solid XPath for an element which is not dynamic. Using that element you are try to find another element. Okay, so for that's why if you look very carefully, so this is actually a XPath of an element. After that we are adding one XPath access method. Using that XPath access method we are giving a tag name so that it can find based on that one, that XPath method, XPath value. Okay, so this is the case of following. Next is this ancestor. Okay, if I am going to use, instead of following, instead of ancestor, so what it will find, not div, let's try to find label. So input, ancestor means in the English, ancestor means above. Okay, not after, follow, not above. Okay, this is the ancestor of this cell. If you see the hierarchy, input is here. Okay, just above input, one level above. If I am going one level above, so that is label, this one. The one level above label is, that is this one. Okay, so that's why it is able to find that this one. Okay, this label. Suppose okay, let's try with this one. Okay, so that you guys can understand. let's try to find this one. So first I'm trying to find this this one, this text box, and using that one I'm trying to find this label. Okay, let's try to find this one. Let's see it is working or not. In the meanwhile, if you are thinking that these are very complicated, these are not very complicated. Just you have to understand the basic logic. So basic logic is that I have mentioned that first you have to identify one element which one is not dynamic. Based on that one, you will try to find another element, the intended element, the element you want to actually want that element, that one. Okay, there is a two part. First part is the support element, you can say, and second, in the middle you will find you have to use the method based on your requirement you have to use, and in the last the tag name. Okay, that's so this element has been it is able to find this element. Let's see what will happen. It is passed, but I'm running again one more time so that you guys can understand what I want to print. It is working perfectly. Okay, so I'm just counting on this line. I'm running again. Okay. So suppose I want this label to be printed, password. How I can identify this one? So for that one I am taking this one as my base support element, this input text box, and using this one I am identifying this label, though I am considering that this label doesn't have any unique ID or any unique thing. Okay, and I cannot use the XPath basic using the basic XPath methods, basic XPath creation process. So that's why I am going to use this one. So what I did that I identified this element as a support, use this one as a support element. First I write the XPath for this one, then I am just go one level above this one. So this is my ancestor level. Okay, and using this one I identified this one, so it identified this one, and I print the text for that element. Okay, password is the text for this element. So this is the way you can use, this is the process, this is the way you can write your XPath using the XPath access method. This is an example I have given to you, and this is not a, I already said that multiple, this is not a complicated web page actually. Okay, next is that, and if you guys have any doubt on this one, I know this is little bit confusing, little bit complicated, this part. If you have any doubt, just drop me an email, or you can just do a comment on this video. I'll try to explain that. Okay, next is that child. Okay, so let's try. There is no child. This one. Okay, so let's try to write. so it is able. So I am trying to identify that this select text, because I cannot see the, I'm not, suppose I am guessing that I cannot see these options, I cannot write any XPath or any, there is no nothing unique is there so that I can identify this one. So that's why I'm using this select one, okay, this one as an XPath. Then using that one, it has some child options. Child, okay, child means one level down under you, okay, child, in the, just in case you have, if you have a child, so it is coming under you, okay, so that one. So next is that preceding, okay, let's try to preceding, there is no option, tab called option preceding level, so it is coming from the top, okay, there are a lot of options it identified. Select as an, okay, first one it identified this level, then this one, this one, this one, this one, these four it is identified, all the preceding, okay, not one level above, all the preceding, okay, in the above all the levels it identified that one, okay, but not the immediate one. To identify the immediate one, you have to use the ancestor that I have already shown to you, okay, immediate above. Next is that following sibling. This is very important thing, this is very interesting also. So following sibling, okay, so first I am taking following sibling, there is no following sibling, okay. Following sibling means in the same level, you can say in the same level. Okay, let's try to use this one. Okay. So if you can see very carefully, this input text box I have taken as a support element, or okay, and then it has these two in a same level. If you have to find an element which is in the same level of your support element, you have to use, on that case you can use the following sibling, okay, or in the reverse case, if you find that okay, one element you have seen that doesn't have, it has a same level, in the same level there is an element is available which you can you can use as support element, you can on that case you can use this XPath access method, that is called following sibling, okay. Next is that parent, okay, it's parent level, okay, so this is one level above, that one is parent, okay. So in that case you will be little bit confused where you can use parent, where you can use ancestor. Let's see where you can use ancestor. In that both case you can see that label is showing the same thing in the same level, but if you can use div, so ancestor it is going in the top first, okay. So ancestor for your case is that this is in the top, three ancestor it has been identified, this one and this one, this all of these three, okay. Next is that self, so it's very less use actually, the self one, okay. You have to use this same tag name, you have to use self, you are trying to identify yourself. In my career I never use the self one, I am not sure where you can use this one. And the last one is descendant, descendant, you can see that all these descendant you can find, which is come under yourself. Okay, so it's like that, all the descendant. Okay, if you have any other thing after your level, other options also you will be able to find that. Okay, so these are all 8 methods. It's coming under the XPath access methods, which using these things you can identify the dynamic or complex element in a web page. Okay, so now I am going to tell you about the interaction. Okay, how to interact with the elements. Okay, there is a main 3 things are there to interact with an element. First one is click, second one is send keys, and third one is click. To submit, it's only applicable form of form, and select I'll tell later, it's coming under a separate thing total. So click, send keys, and clear. Okay, click I have already shown to you guys, I think. Okay, let's try to write it. For this one, first if I am taking that one, suppose sometimes what I have to do, I have to click on this one, then I can write here. Okay, so to identify this one, what I can take, I can use the ID. I have the ID for this one. Here this is the ID. I identified the text box already. Text box dot click, element dot click. After with the element object, the element you find on that one, you will find the methods. Okay, if you see just dot and control space, you will find send keys, get text, click, get attribute, is this, so many methods are there. Okay, I'll try to tell all the methods. Okay, not in this video. Okay, this is pretty long, this one. Okay, if you are new, please don't skip the video, please try to be with the video. Okay, so that you can understand one by one how it works actually, all the Selenium. Then you can have an idea how you can write, use the locator strategies to identify an element. Okay, and if you are not new, you have a doubt on how you doesn't know, and you have a confusion how to write the XPaths, or how to use the locator strategies. So on that case, you guys can also welcome to see this video. And if you like this one, please share with others also. Okay. Oh, okay, then first play. Okay, this is the way you can click on that one. Then you can, if suppose I'm thinking that if already something is there, you can clear that one. And send keys mean to type some, enter something. Okay, suppose Selenium. Let's run this code. So first it will click, then it will clear, then it will write something. Okay, type something, you can say. Oops, it happened so fast. Okay, let's give a breakpoint and try to run this one in a debug. Okay, how to run this one as a debug? For IntelliJ, just one click on the line you want to pause there, right click, then debug. Okay, it has been paused here. This one doesn't executed yet, it is there. If you press F8 in your keyboard, F8, so that you can see that it has been clicked, that's why it is highlighted. After that, if you go back here, press 8, it will clear if something is there, then again F8, it typed Selenium. Okay, to remove this one, to resume the program, you can press F9, or if you click here, display button. So it has been done. Okay, so these are, in this video I have discussed in detail about the locator strategies, all the locator strategies, how you can use the locator strategies. Okay, and the main 3 interaction method. Okay, so if you like this video, please share with others, so that other people, they can also learn. And also please do not forget to subscribe this channel. Okay, thank you.